Hello and welcome to the past, because it's apparently the 9th, or is that the September 5th? I don't even know. Let me start it up. It's actually, yeah, it is actually May the 9th. It was, of the year 00. For those that don't know, this is a game that pretty much defined my past, and this is what this short series is going to be about. Showing this game, and if needed be, I'm going to make this series longer because I absolutely adore this game. For those that don't know, this game is SimCity 4. This is essentially the predecessor to SimCity 2013. The game that was very highly criticized, the game that I actually highly awaited and that I made like a 30-part series of. And I felt like, I felt like just doing a couple of episodes of this series, of this game more specifically, a series of this game. And here I am right now. Now, one thing that I must praise immediately in SimCity 4 is its soundtrack. I absolutely adore the soundtrack of SimCity 4. Specifically, this song is actually my favorite track of all the soundtrack. One thing that I must not praise, however, is the world generation. Now, it's certainly superior to what SimCity for 2013 had, simply because 2013 had a very, very weird world generation that wasn't existent, in fact. It was just a few preset worlds and you picked one. Here you can actually load a few worlds, you can download a few worlds, many worlds, or you can create many. However, the creation tool of the creation of worlds in the game is a bit flawed, as in you cannot really make a very precise world. Like, for instance, this island right over here, you can see that it's pretty weird looking. Now, this is only, of course, for showcasing. If I'm going to make a full series of this, I'm probably going to make my own world through third-party programs, which are available, by the way. Either way, let's get started right over here. I'm gonna show you the island region, essentially. I'm gonna exit without saving. Here it is. It's literally 3 islands right now. This island here, which is composed of three different maps. If you remember, SimCity 2013 at most had 16 possible locations to build a city. Count how many are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And here we are already at that part where SimCity 2013 stopped. And the size of the worlds in SimCity, of the size of the cities in SimCity, was more or less the size of this small one. 4 these ones make a medium map on SimCity 4. 4 medium maps make a large map, and the biggest island is in fact a large map. And it's where I'm gonna actually make my first city. So let's get straight into it. You go into mayor mode, you essentially just pick the difficulty level, which determines how many disasters you'll have and how much starting credits you'll have. You pick a city name and your mayor name, and that's pretty much it. There is absolutely nothing else you have to do. So let's pick a city name. We're gonna pick... This is Lauron Island, by the way, named appropriately after me. We're gonna name this the Lauron Capital Star. Yeah! And we're gonna establish it as an easy difficult city. The mayor's of course gonna be Lauron. Or like Dictator, right? Dictator, Sir Lauron. Lord Lauron. Lord. King. King, yeah. Let's do King Lauron. King Lauron of Lauron Capital Star. Yeah, alright. It reminds me of the Death Star. Okay, so as soon as we start, basically, we start with pretty much most things unlocked already. I've installed one mod, by the way, the Network Add-on mod. It's the only mod that I always install. It's basically an AI enhancer. It enhances the AI of people, of the inhabitants of your cities, in such a way that they are a bit more clever and decide to do something more clever. And this mod has been very, very supported by the mod community, and it is the best mod, and the one that you should absolutely install no matter what. Even if you're absolutely new to the game, install it always. Alright, let's get started here, right? So we have, of course, the residential, the commercial and industrial, the so-called RCI zonings. You can see the demands are low for lower wealth residential, low wealth commercial, agricultural, and industrial. So, dirty industrial. So let's make our road, a normal road. Pretty simple. We're gonna build here in general. Now, one downside of this game is that it's a bit older, and therefore you cannot really do anything but, you know, an octagon shaped road. So it pretty much ends up looking like a Roman camp. The upside, however, is that you start with 500,000 simoleons, which is an astonishing amount, and we're not gonna run out of that anytime soon. Now, the zoning comes quite handily with a tool which actually automatically sets up small roads, or how do you call them? These are roads, these are streets, of course, small streets which essentially help accessing those places, you know? So we're gonna just place this zone here, and we have here quickly made a residential area. Of course, for it to grow, we need power. We can go with a windmill power, or rather wind power plant, which gives us 200 megawatts per hour, or megawatts hour per month, sorry. Then we have the natural gas power plant, moderate pollution for 3000 megawatt hour per month. Finally, we have the coal power plant, which is 6000 megawatts hour per month. And of course the oil power plant, which is quite expensive monthly. So we're gonna go with a coal power plant, to be honest with you. I don't think I need anything else. How do I rotate these things? I don't even know if there is a possibility to rotate with buttons. There probably is. I'm just not remembering it right now. We're gonna place it here, and since this is not SimCity 2014, you actually have to build electrical towers, or whatever you call them. What are these called? Power lines, of course. Why didn't I know that? Power lines. So basically you just connect the power line to your city and everything is fine. However, it's worth mentioning that fire might start in a power plant, so it's actually useful to connect this. Some things that I'm gonna do right now. Wait. Trying to make this as nice as possible, to be honest with you. Okay. Let's just make it this way. Sure, it's a bit expensive, but at the end of the day it might be useful. Alright. Let's accelerate. Apparently these guys cannot access the land here for God knows what reason. I'm not entirely sure, but it works out. You just have to accelerate a bit. What is the hotkey for accelerating, either way? Cheetah speed. It's not 1 to 3. 1 to 3 is apparently the... yeah, this. Is it F1, F2, F3? I am too afraid to try it out. I'm pretty sure that these three are F1, F2, F3. Maybe just plus and minus? No, plus and minus are just there for that. You can actually drive cars here, by the way. Believe it or not. Anyway, we're gonna plant some agricultural zones down the road here. First and foremost, we're gonna destroy this. Agricultural zones require very few streets. As you can see, they divide themselves with parcels, essentially. So we're going to make a street down here. We cannot connect it for some reason that I'm unaware of. Ah, there we go. It connected automatically, so that's nice. So we're gonna build some agricultural zones here, just to make sure that we have, you know, those few resources needed and work zones needed for people. Of course, we'll have to connect it with power cables, but it is not an issue. At least not yet. One moment, and you're gonna see why. Essentially now, yeah, all this is connected automatically because they're closely related. However, it's worth mentioning that I did a stupid thing, and that is, I put a power plant close to agricultural. So for instance, if we go to the desirability, where is it actually? The desirability. I don't remember things here, so give me desirability, there we go. So if we go for agricultural, you'll see that there is a low desirability close to this polluted zone and to the streets. In general, you want to keep it with the small streets, or rather non-roads, connected so that there isn't a lot of traffic, essentially. Okay, so without further ado, let's just continue on building, closing the data views, adding a bit more residential, why not, might as well. fine. And some commercial too, because God knows they're going to need shops to buy some groceries, right? So about something like this will be fine, I suppose, for the time being at least. Also, it doesn't depend on which kind of road you have, it depends entirely on what kind of density you pick the buildings to be, essentially. What kind of density the buildings will be. For instance, I can pick between low, medium, and high density. And if I want to have an avenue with low buildings, I can do that, no problem. I can do that. Now, I suppose the biggest issue right now will be little working spaces, as in the agriculture doesn't give a lot. There is actually an advanced agricultural mod, but you can see that one entire farm gives only 2 workplaces, which is very little. That gives 10, that is already better. It's a ranch, I guess. But as you can see, the farm fields aren't really... Whoa. Invite mayor to pull up a chair, of course. So we're going to build ourselves... Wait a second. Trying to pause here, or rather slow down time. They're inviting me kindly to live in the town, and they've decided to build a house for me. Or rather, I have to build it for 1,800 bucks. Done. I don't know if it works the same way as in the old SimCity game. So I guess our initial reports were wrong. The mission is unavailable after all. Oh, triple L. I'll stay on the lookout for it to happen again. Essentially, you can actually pick missions in the town. You can drive cars around, helicopters and stuff like that. My favorite is actually driving the ambulance helicopter. Again, that was a missing failure, or rather missing report, not working right. Either way, we've actually zoned a lot of commercial, and you can see that the demand is right now negative. We have actually too many shops for our inhabitants, essentially. Now, the demand of agriculture is high, however, you don't really have to do it, because to be honest with you, you don't have anything to gain from that. The job demands in agriculture are too low without mods. There is, as I said, a mod available that actually enhances agriculture by quite a bit. Like 100, multiplying by 100 the jobs given. I think that could help, I don't know, we'll see. But that's not the point. The point is that we're actually going to place some dirty industry, which is, as the name suggests, dirty, but it offers a lot of low wealth jobs. And once we get to a higher wealth jobs, the industry is going to change itself into a more dynamic thing, I guess, would be the appropriate way to put it. Actually, let me put also the streets manually. I don't like actually the non-manual placements of streets. I just noticed that this road is one off. Whoops, I destroyed some trees, whatever. So we put a street like this, we put a street like this. We make a nice cross, essentially. So this is symmetric, is this right? So let's see. This is 60. This is 50. Okay, but if I do this, it's gonna be fine. Alright, that's it. I don't know why this street didn't build the streetway. I don't even know how things work, but it's fine either way. We're gonna place some medium density things here. There we go. We can check if we're making money or if we're losing it. We're currently losing it just a tiny little bit, simply because the roads need to be cleaned and fixed up, and the power plants cost a bunch, so... As long as we get some positives, you'll see that this is not gonna be an issue. However, I need a power line. There we go. Issue solved! And as you can see, the demand of industry is quite high, and my balance increases dramatically after that. Now, water is also a thing. We can build the water tower, which of course will enhance my water, but it doesn't produce a lot. The water pump costs quite a bit more. It costs 7 times more. However, it also produces almost 10 times more water. So it's usually suggested to build a water pump if needed be. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pause. We're gonna place the water pump in a non-dirty location, actually. Now, since I'm pretty sure that water pump require energy, but they don't require streets, because they just cannot... they just cannot become flammable. They're not. They're unflammable. That's the word I'm searching for. So I'm gonna just extend the power line here. This should be enough, to be honest. 1 block away should be more than enough. And we're now going to put pipes. You have to actually build pipes in this game. It's not as simple as in SimCity 2013, where you just, you know, are a happy man and don't have to do anything at all. I'm pretty convinced that if you actually extend the pipes to the dirty industry, the water is going to become polluted ever so slightly, but it's not that much of a big deal. There we go. Essentially, my theory right now is to not build any kind of public services until needed be. And we don't need them right now. Roads rule in capitals, but streets become endangered. So essentially, this says that we have too many roads and too little streets. For small towns, it's usually more advisable to have more streets. Now, I'm gonna accept this road vehicle training mission just because I want to show you what you have to do. I don't remember the buttons. Okay, WASD, space, Hong Kong. Hong Kong. Alright. Feels good, man. So, it is highly inadvisable to drive cars once you have a big city, because streets will be covered by skyscrapers. Usually I do helicopters missions always because they grant me more mayor reputation. Everything's fine. They grant more mayor reputation, and I don't have to kill people and stuff like that. But there is also negative mayor reputation missions where you get lots of money, and sometimes that is actually a good idea to do. It just is, because, you know, you want more of that kind of things. You want more monies, you know? You like monies? You want more monies? Do more monies. I'm gonna connect a road right over here now. I'm just going to go straight down here. Whoa. That was aggressive. I don't know what exploded, but something exploded. It doesn't really matter in the long run, but, you know. In general, it's a good idea knowing what's happening. We're gonna plant more residential, because as you can see, the demand for low-wealth residential is quite okay. So I might as well, right? And god damn, I love this game. God damn, I do. It's just awesome. Now, sometimes this auto road placement decides to be pesky. However, the game offers you quite a free option to build the parcels as you want by pressing Alt and Shift keys. You can see that the parcels change. Well, that's not very advisable sometimes, because it simply won't have the right part. You will just build it too big, essentially, the parcel, and then you'll get in trouble because no one will want to live in, or rather buy a parcel so big. People have to buy parcels, you know? Parcels come to be expensive and stuff. Also, it's worth mentioning that once you have both power and water, your inhabitants will move on to medium wealth. As you can see, this house is medium wealth. It has 7 out of 13 maximum inhabitants. Making a building historical essentially makes it so that it never is replaced. Now, abandoned building in this game is not an issue here. They're just being replaced by new ones if needed be, or they just get inhabited by other people. So it's not really that much of an issue, as I said. But it does happen sometimes if you don't know what to do. Now you can see here, Frankie Big Bucks wants to build a casino in Lauron Capital Star. The site he picked just happens to be in an ancient Sim burial ground. Drive him around in the area, check out the time site. Better hurry before he changes his mind. So you get 10,000 cash for minus 40 mayor rating, and as you can see, my mayor rating right now isn't that good, so I'm gonna cancel this mission. Usually you can get counter offers, like for instance you don't want to do the criminal mission, you can do another mission which is for the police to stop the criminal, and that will improve your mayor rating actually. So that's quite a well thought thing. I'm actually bummed that they didn't do something similar in SimCity 2013, to be honest, but SimCity 2013 more focused on city specialization than what this game focuses on. Basically, it's two different kinds of two different genres of games in the same genre. It's actually two different subgenres of game in one same genre. But the point is, My point being is that SimCity 2013 was a reboot, so we shouldn't really bash it too hard. It's still an okay game, if you ask me personally. I liked it. I just felt that it isn't as great as this one. It just cannot hold the name of SimCity 4, you know. Hold to the name of SimCity 4. Now, let's see. A very high demand for agricultural industry is present, but to be honest with you, I don't really care. What I do care is, however, making more money. And once I get more monthly income, I can actually build a school. And school will make my sim smarter, and this thing here will be replaced by possibly manufacturing industry, which is a bit less dirty, of course. However, for the purpose of it, you can see that there is actually a tiny little demand of manufacturing industry. We can go check here. Desirability. Manufacturing is fine pretty much everywhere. They don't really give a damn care about what is going on. Now, for medium wealth residential, you can see that it's mostly where the residential is at. They want to live where the water is, they want to live where... Actually, the water isn't spread right now. Forgot to place the pipes. My mistakes. I'm gonna fix that immediately. Quite easy to do so, even. You always have to be careful that the pipes actually connect with each other. If they don't connect, then they might end up not connecting, and you won't be getting any water. And then you might think that there is no water to be gotten, and... Mayor rating 80! Accept! I don't even want to know what it is about, but I'm gonna do it. Of course, I'm turned around the wrong way, so I have to honk honk. What was that? I don't even know. It's also worth mentioning that SimCity 4, back in the day, was like a gateway between Sims 1 and Sims 2. You could actually have some inhabitants placed as your helpers in the city, and they could tell you what's wrong with the city and what's good. I'm driving on the wrong lane. And by building small towns in this, by just building some roads, you could export the map into SimCity 2 and make basically a town in The Sims 2, which is actually kind of remarkably good, if you ask me. Essentially, the town editor of Sims 2 was this game. There we go, then we have to go there. We have 25 times. Oh! Sorry. The downside of this is that sometimes it just won't respond to your parkings. But it works now, for instance. I have 52 seconds, I have to be very careful. Also, parking lots not always work as they should be working and driving in the wrong lane. What can I say? I'm a weird man driving the wrong lane. There we go. So I got the mayor rating up by 80. I don't know how exactly it works, because maybe 100 mayor rating is one tick here. I'm not too sure. Sometimes zooming in and out will actually also cancel missions. But that is not the point. The point is that we have quite a sizable city right now, but we're still not making that much income. I think I'm gonna increase the size of industry, simply because apparently everything in this industrial zone is pretty much complete. So we're gonna spread it out. Heavens but call for mayor, so they want me to build a temple of worship, essentially. Now we're gonna place this down really in a nice spot of town. How about here? It's pretty clear that they don't want to build all that commercial, so this is gonna be fine. Now if you look closely, you'll notice that these temples don't have a very specific look. They are not churches, they are not... what they're called? Well, other temples of other religions, of course. They're not monasteries, they're not churches. I don't remember, to be honest. Mosques is for the Islamic religion, but they are basically a mixture of all religions, so there is no specific religion. And I can see the crowd in front of this to be very, very cheerful about this, so that's nice. It makes you feel good. The traffic is quite low for the time being, that's great news. The only issue I had always with SimCity 2013 is traffic. Traffic hated me, I hated traffic. What can I say? It's a love-hate relationship. More hate-hate relationship, but you know. I'm gonna just clear out and do spots here. Okay, so this will hopefully actually give me more industrial zones, which I like a lot. At this point, at least. Once you get heavy industry, that is going to be fancy as hell. I like heavy, not high industry, sorry, high-tech industry. That looks so good in this game. It's insane. It actually gives you so much money. Also unlocking certain power plants, like wait, new residence time limited. Right, whatever. Look, if I go to energy plants, you can see that the solar power plant won't be unlocked until I have a wealth residential population, high wealth residential population of 3,000 and mayor rating of 55. How much do I have right now? No clue. The nuclear power plant, total city size 85,000 and total energy demand plus deals 25,000. And finally, the hydrogen power plant requires high-tech industry population of 4,000 and total city energy demand plus deals 30,000. And this is the best, this is the safest, it's clean, it's very cheap for the power it actually grants. It's $1 per 5 megawatt hour. In comparison to this is $1 per 4. So it is essentially cheaper than wind power plants. It's, I believe, not as cheap as coal power plants altogether, but however, this produces just a lot of energy. All the energy you're ever going to need, essentially. Okay. So we're making a bit more money now. We can actually check now public services and see schools. It costs me 400 monthly to build an elementary school. But it's going to increase the wealth of population, possibly even increasing the status of my city and industry of my city, so might be gaining more money after this is done. Go. Also, desirability is also related to parks. That is obvious, of course. It's always been like that. You cannot change it. You can place a nice tennis court here and everybody will be happier. Also basketball court, why not? And now let's accelerate and see what impact this will have to the city. You can actually see that already the trees grow in the houses that have been actually built a long time ago. Believe it or not, 6 years have passed already in this game. Believe it or not, 6 years. So that's quite fancy. Let's check our demands. Our demands for commercial is very low, but it's increasing slightly. Dirty industry is negative, so they don't need more dirty industry. We need more agriculture, apparently. They just want those agricultural buildings. Fine, let's make a farm. Happy? Hope you are. Okay, let's see now. What else can we do before I pause this first part of this short series? Short to be determined, of course, because it can change how you feel about this series whenever you want. We can actually go to the my sim mode, add a sim, and you can pick some of the sims. You can see that these portraits are actually the portraits, as well as names of famous sims in the Sims 1 game. Bob Newby, Bella Goth, Theodore McGinty. We're gonna go with Bob Newby because I like that guy. And we're going to put him in this house. So you can see that no nearby docks for ailing Bob Newby. So he wants docks apparently, doesn't he? How do you build docks again? Think it was it seaport. I think it's just the seaport that you have to build. You just place it and that's it, essentially. Mostly. It's not something that you have to zone. I remember back in SimCity 3000 you had to actually zone ports, and I liked it a lot. You could zone ports and airports the way you wanted them. Here it's a predetermined, ridiculously small size, actually. But yeah, this pretty much can wrap it up. We don't have anything unlocked yet. We can check what is required to build a city hall, actually. Where is the city hall, actually? City hall. City size 12,500, mayor rating of 20 or more. City government is more efficient. City hall is not available, requires 12,520, that. Okay, so basically we need more population. Essentially, that's what they're saying to me. It's also possible that the demand for both industrial and commercial is low because there is very few inhabitants to demand it, essentially. So what I'm gonna do, or what I think I'm gonna do, is make this road here a street, or rather, this street here a road, and build more residential. This is being tricky to me. Okay, it works. Just have to give it a go and then you start learning how it works. It's quite easy once you get the hang of it, really. There. Oh. There. That's not how I wanted it placed, so I'm gonna remove it. Because they didn't have the right to place it that way, the parcel. There we go. And now we extend the water pipes. See, for instance, if I connect it like this... Oh no, never mind. It apparently connects automatically. It could be a network add-on mod thing. Let's accelerate it up and see what happens. Also, you can check how many students there are in the school. 79 students, student capacity is 125, so far we're okay on that regard. So we have about 2,000 inhabitants in this little town, mostly low wealth, but you know, you never need to think that that is a bad thing necessarily. They will give me more workforce. As you can see right now, my demand for dirty industry has increased once again, and therefore I can plant more. But I think this is going to be it for this episode, as far as I'm concerned at least. Let me just place some medium industry here. Thanks everybody for watching, and join me next time as we will try to explore a bit more in depth the other additions that were in these games, that weren't in the previous games or in the future games. No nearby docks for ailing, but newbie. Roads rule in Lauron's capital city of a street becoming a danger. Smolder for station. Mirror King Lauron. Wait a second. Oh. You got sims, you got roads, you got buildings, and pretty soon you'll have what? Fire! Your citizens got it right. You need to build a fire station before there is more than just smoke. I could, but what's my money status? I actually can, sure. Let's build that and then pause it. We're gonna build it close to industry, simply because essentially the fire station does have an area of effect radius like that, but that is just the efficiency level. You can actually send it all the way down here if you want, it's just going to be slowed down. But essentially I'm placing it here because industry has a known side effect of burning a lot. So that is actually a fixed issue. Road rule on. I'm glad to see you for your extra maintenance cost to roads. Incur. Please with the... Okay, so basically they're telling me that there is too much road maintenance costs? I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna pause this right now. Thanks everyone for watching. Join me next time as we will do stuff. Build houses. Until then, be well. Bye!
This was the Lauron Gaming Show. Thanks for watching.